You guys are in a good mood, so let's open with stuff about the election. Listen, it's over, we can laugh about it. Yeah, after the election happened, I had to flee to Canada for like 5 days, because I was like, America's not ready for these jokes. You know, the Canadians, they're like scared for us, but they're like, ha, it's not us. You know, and then I went to Wisconsin, tried it out there, but like, they don't really give you a reaction regardless, you know, they're just like, nah. So this is my first night doing it in front of real people, and I love it. You know, I don't have a lot to say. I will just say, people were very upset with me after the election because I voted third party, and I put it out there. Because everybody was like, oh, which one are you voting for? And then I actually saw the ballot, and there's like a lot of options on that shit. So I was like, you can even write shit in. So I wrote in Peanut the Squirrel, and went on with my democratic life. I'm from California, where it doesn't matter what dead animal you vote for, it's still gonna be blue. But I voted the way I voted, and people were very upset with me because of the outcome of the election. They were saying things to me like, oh, what are you, MAGA now? Are you MAGA? And I was like, well, yeah, technically I'm mad at genocide apologists, so I'm a little MAGA. Yeah, I thought of that. But yeah, no, listen, Kamala lost, so a lot of writers lost their jobs, and it hurts a lot of people, I get it. A lot of people want Kamala to win, and let me tell you, if it's about identity politics, let me tell you, I want a woman president. Okay, I want a woman of color president. Okay, I want a black, Indian, Jamaican, whatever she was on the day president. I want all those things. But can we get a different one? That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for. Yeah, give us a top 5. We'll choose. You know, maybe someone not tied up with genocide. I'm asking for too much, huh? I'm asking for too much. I'm sorry. But I get where that feeling comes from. Like, you know, for instance, let's say in the next election, let's say DJ Khaled runs. Right? Right, my thoughts exactly, right? Listen, Arabs, you gotta admit, we're gonna have some conflicting emotions. Because we're gonna be like, fuck that guy, he doesn't represent us, right? You know, DJ Khaled, he hasn't spoken about Palestine at all in the last year. You look at his Instagram, he's disabled comments. Because all the comments were like, you fat talk about Palestine, like that's what everybody... And now all of his videos are just him eating in front of his kids, and his kids don't even want his food. It's just, they're like, nah. And it's just, yeah, he's disgraced, you know? But you gotta admit, if he did run, party would be like, oh man, Palestinian in the White House, you know what I mean? Makaluba Tuesdays, you know, and it would be kind of cool to see someone, you know, not who looks like me, but who, you know, checks a certain box that I check being in the White House. There'd be something cool, but I would also just be like, can we get a different one, please? That's all I want. And then somebody already got mad at me for this comparison. Like, that's f***ed up, comparing Kamala to a shitty DJ. Kamala was a successful lawyer who won case after case. I'm like, yeah, another one. I'm just saying, give us 5 to choose from. We'll pick we the best, you know what I mean? But until then, show us another one, you know? Yeah, people are mad at me. People are mad at people who didn't vote for Democrats because they opposed the genocide. People want to blame the election on us. So we'll look at the electoral map. That's not what happened. People just like Trump in this country. I mean, if you look at the electoral map, it's a sea of red. Sea of red, and then New Mexico and Colorado for some reason in the middle. It is red. Like, you can literally draw a line from Florida all the way, you know, to Alaska, even through Canada, because they're red too, just like through it, you know. But at least the Democrats finally saw a red line. So, all right. That's my last joke, pressing the buttons. I understand. Some people are hurting. I have friends who are Democrats, man, they're scared of Trump, but for some reason, they're more scared of J.D. Vance. Which, like, I get it, but, like, if you look at him, he's just like a podcast bro in a suit, you know what I mean? Who just has a lot of, like, weird values. Like, he wants to give tax breaks to people who have kids. I'm like, that's kind of welfare, isn't it? He's done things with couches. We've heard a lot of things about J.D. Vance. But my Democrat friends are scared of him. And I'm like, oh, that's why Trump picked him as VP. That's his assassination insurance. He's like, you can try to kill me, but look who's down the line. Yeah, you don't want that? You want that? Ah, good done, you know? But yeah, it's a weird time. It's crazy how the mainstream media continues to bury itself with its bad coverage of things. Case in point, y'all see what happened in Amsterdam a few weeks ago? Yeah, okay, yeah, he's like, yeah, I was there. Yeah, so you either know what happened in Amsterdam or you read what the media said happened in Amsterdam. They're two very different things. You might be a little confused if you don't know truth from not truth. So I woke up a couple Fridays ago, which I hope you did as well, and I opened Instagram and I saw all these videos circulating of some things that had happened in Amsterdam over the course of a few days. And so I kind of gathered what happened. And then I saw the media headline. And it was vastly different. The mainstream media headline, Friday morning, all they were saying were, Israeli soccer fans attacked. And yeah, instantly I was like, disgusting. It's called football. Again, shitty mainstream media coverage, can't even get the sport name correct. But you know, I then read the media's take on it, and then I completely changed my views after seeing actual video evidence. For those of you who don't know what happened in Amsterdam a few weeks ago, basically, some Israeli soccer fans came to support their team. And they just wanted to watch a game. That's all they wanted to do. That's it. They just wanted to watch a game and support the... I'm speaking. Notice I could hear you guys talking. That was all. Yeah. I did it twice. I was like, I'm speaking. So the Israeli soccer fans, okay, they just wanted to watch a game. And yes, during the game, there was a moment of silence for the people who died in the floods in Spain. And yes, coincidentally, the whole Israeli section sneezed at the same time. It was a weird coincidence. It wasn't disrespect to Spain for not shipping them more weapons for their genocide. I promise you it wasn't that, okay? But you have to keep in mind, a lot of these Israeli soccer fans were either IDF or IDF reservists, and they were literally coming there just to take a break from defending themselves against children, and just like kicking back to watch a game. And yes, after the game, they march through the streets and chant things that normal people chant, like the IDF will win and f*** the Arabs. Like, who doesn't say that at least 3 times a day, you know? They started chanting death to Arabs. Like, who doesn't wake up in the morning with a little death to Arabs on their mind? Yeah, sometimes my parents annoy me. I'm like, death to Arabs. Like, I get it. Trust me. Okay? And then, yes, they were walking around parts of town where there happened to be Palestinian flags. And yes, suddenly, accidentally, gravity reversed, and some of them accidentally went up a wall, scaled it, and ripped down the flag. And then they also started setting some fires, because who doesn't like setting fires in countries that you don't live in? This is a normal thing that people do. And okay, sure, they started targeting some cab and Uber drivers who they found out were pro-Palestine or Muslim or Arab, and they started fights with them. But cab drivers, sometimes they get you places late, you know, and maybe some of these Uber drivers didn't have a perfect 5-star rating. So, you know, maybe some punishments were due, okay? So after all of these events, by the end of the day, naturally, the cab and Uber drivers came together and, for lack of a better phrase, they kicked their little asses. Okay, that's basically what happened. Okay, now I have to make it very clear. I don't endorse violence. I don't think violence belongs in sports, except hockey, of course. Or football or basketball. Actually, let's keep violence in sports. I like that. But I'm not going to be up here and say that, any person deserves violence. But I do believe that this situation followed the classic parable of around and find out, okay? So that is what happened. You don't with cab and Uber drivers. Cab drivers don't work for anyone. Did you know that? They do not have a boss. They're not on a clock. They can leave work at any time, okay? And then Uber drivers is like, you're not going to up their rating, you know what I mean? They can just decline if you want to get a ride. So it was just like a bad mistake. But of course, the media does their job of making this much better. So the media does the right thing, obviously, and invokes Nazi terminology, because that's what was missing from this equation. They start calling it a pogrom, which if you know what a pogrom is, that's state-sponsored targeting an ethnic group. So yeah, I didn't know that cab drivers and Uber drivers now work for the state. But apparently, according to that logic, they do. I heard people saying things like, oh, Jews are no longer safe in Amsterdam, just like in the time of the Nazis. But let me get this straight. You're telling me that military-aged men came to a country that wasn't theirs, marching down the streets, chanting death to a subgroup, and then vandalizing property and targeting people. I believe they are the Nazis in this case. I'm sorry. You're not great at analogies. The worst take I heard was, if Anne Frank was alive, she wouldn't be safe in Amsterdam yet again. Come on, dude. Anne Frank was a wise young woman who knew right from wrong. If Anne Frank was alive, she'd be in the streets beating those hooligan asses with the cab drivers too. She'd be like, I died for you, motherfucker. Stop acting like little bitches. But it's like, listen, again, like if you want to say like, okay, these cab Uber drivers, they shouldn't have resorted to violence, that's fine. But media, do your job, dude. Cover the story right. And you wonder why nobody watches you anymore. You wonder why nobody believes that shit you say. It's because of shit like this. But also just like the double standard. I mean, can you imagine if a group of Muslims came to America, started marching down the street, yelling, death to vegans, in front of a soccer game? You know how much coverage it would have got? None, because we don't give a fuck about soccer. You know what I'm saying? So, wouldn't even made the news. But anyways, the moral of the story is, if you want to have a safe soccer experience, don't invite the Israeli team to your city.